share his own view on the environment preservation. He is a famous Thai actor and also an activist who promotes the conservation of the environment. He is also a co-founder of the Environment Education Center, which focuses on providing environmental education for people, especially the younger generation. Please welcome Mr. Alexander Wendell.
สวัสดีครับพี่ทุกคนครับ Good afternoon everyone. It is my greatest pleasure to be here today and to be in this room with everyone who are experts in their own ways, and we're all fighting for the same thing. And I'm here to share how I think I have contributed in fighting plastic pollution. Okay, well, I had the opportunity in co-founding the Environmental Education Center, or also known as EEC Thailand. So what we do is basically we have educational camps for kids all from 3.5-year-olds all the way up to universities. So we take them onto camps. We have the wildlife camps, which is the camps where we take people to educate them on elephants, on gorals, on different animals, different species around Thailand, and we go all the way from down south all the way up north. And we also have the marine camps, which we take. Okay, sorry. Oh. Okay, well, we have the marine camps, which we take kids from junior open waters, and we take them and we use scuba diving as a tool for them to be able to go down and actually experience and see the underwater world, and hopefully that allows them to have a sentimental value for our environment and inspires them for them to come up and become environmental advocates to be able to protect our environment in the long run. Okay, so we also have the indigenous camps because we believe that the locals are very important, and we want our students to be able to live, to be able to eat, and to be able to appreciate how locals live and appreciate their way of living, because we believe that the environment is not only about the oceans, it's not only about the animals, but it's also about the people. So as you can see in this picture, we have these kids going up to different indigenous villages in the north of Thailand and also in the south of Thailand. Okay. And as you can see, we actually follow this model in this diagram, which we believe is the most sustainable way of conservation, because we believe that education is the most sustainable way, and it's all up to us finding out how to actually educate people in order to change their attitudes. So as you can see on the right side, education for the environment, educate about the environment, and education in or from the environment. So if you put these three things together, what you get is you get a knowledge and understanding of the environment, you develop concepts and develop skills, and it changes their attitudes as a student, as young protectors to our environment. And we follow the process of environmental education, which is 5 different processes. First, situational analysis. We actually have to find the problem and see what approaches we're going to take, what methods are we going to take. The involvement of locals, because at the end of the day, it's the locals that have to look after the different areas around our country. And public participation. We find ways where we could act as a multi-stakeholder platform where we could bring all these different people and come in together and fight this all environmental problems that we can see, and come up with a management scheme and see that how are we going to change the way people think, how are we going to be able to attack these problems such as plastic pollution, and see on the 5th stage to see if everything we are doing, does it actually make sense? Is there actually any change going on in our society? And we do this with a lot of international students, and we believe that the whole point of it is not for them just to go onto camps and have fun and go scuba diving and stuff like that, but we believe that in the end of the day, like I had the opportunity to go filming in Japan last year, and I really respect the Japanese people because they really take like little things like littering on the floor really seriously. even in places where no one will ever know what they are doing, but then they have this way of thinking that if we all help, we could make the whole country a better place to be living in. So it's all about the attitudes and the way of thinking and decision making from all of the young people. So in this picture, as you can see, we are down in the Moken village down in Mukotsarin, which is down in the south of Thailand. And you can see some of our students mingling, staying with the local people. And you have people, have kids where their parents, CEO of airline companies, CEO of fast food companies. You have all these people, owners of theaters, and they're all sending their kids onto these camps. And I just take a look at this picture and I see them with all these kids. And in 30 years ahead of now, I believe that these will be the next decision makers, and they will really play a part in making the right decisions. And all the decisions that are made within the city are the decisions that affect our environment, that affect the oceans, that affect our forests. So hopefully we are trying to build them into the right decision makers. And if we were to have 100, 200 students that came onto our camps, and we would go forward 30 years, and we had 200 people making better decisions than what we have today, we believe that that our country and our world are in good hands with these new generation of decision makers. Other than that, I also work very carefully, very closely to all the blind children and disabled children, and use elephants to heal them both mentally and physically in order to be able to preserve them. So I believe that at the end of the day, whether it's any problems, whether it's the extinction of the animals, whether it's plastic pollution problems, it all has to come from making the right decision. And I believe that environmental education is the way out and the key concept that we should all help each other attack, and that we should bring this idea and apply it to many places around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. And the next presentation on marine litter, a global problem needing global solutions and local actions, will be presented by Mr. Vegat Homelit. Mr. Vegat Homelit is a career diplomat, and he is currently the head of mission of the Royal Norwegian Embassy in Bangkok. Before assuming this post, he was a senior advisor on global health and section for global initiatives at the Department for Humanitarian Affairs, as well as senior advisor on European policy section in the Norwegian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Previously, he also served in the Norwegian Ministry of Trade and Industry. So please welcome Mr. Vegat Homelit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all still awake, which is needed. I don't think I can be as inspirational as Alexander just was. I think that's pretty incredible what he's trying to do. His group, his people, targeting young people, building awareness on crucial issues that we're discussing here today, and this is also a very important meeting. So I want to thank the organizers for inviting me. I'm going to speak about marine litter as a global problem needing local solutions, as the introduction just said. It is a global and rapidly growing environmental problem, marine littering. It is a serious threat to the living resources in the oceans on which humankind depend. At the third United Nations Environment Assembly last December, we could all witness a sense of urgency in the room. Member states all stressed the importance of prevention and the long-term elimination of littering the ocean. The world community has also stressed the need to clean up in areas where the need is greatest and the impact of any measures we take is highest. We have all agreed that for cleanup and prevention measures, we must not cause any unintentional harm to the environment while doing the job. Norway, my country has combating microplastics and marine littering as a key priority, naturally, being an ocean state. This is very important to us. In our opinion, first, prevention should be prioritized. An effective circular economy approach is needed for the long term. We need to reduce the use of plastic and have effective waste management systems to at all prevent litter from entering the oceans. Second, we are of the opinion that plastic waste must be regarded not only as a problem, but also as a resource. Preventing waste makes economic sense. We need environmentally sound solutions for reuse and recycling. Products and waste management systems needs to be better suited to increase reuse and recycling. Both products and waste management systems should be designed to keep the material value of plastic in the production chain for as long as possible. Now third, to ensure reusable and recyclable products is the responsibility first and foremost for the industry also. Industry must take their share, industry must innovate and see new niches for profit earnings. Now many such initiatives are taken by industries, but we feel that more initiatives needs to be encouraged. Fourth, as a government we are acutely aware that we need financing. It is therefore of great importance that the Global Environmental Facility, GEF, can support investments in new measures to prevent marine litter. The World Bank's projects on waste management are also crucial in fast-tracking effective and sustainable solutions. Fifth, in this day and age with limited resources everywhere, we need partnerships. Therefore, Norway has established a development program dedicated to combat marine litter and microplastics. Through this programming, Norway will establish collaboration with other countries, NGOs, international organizations, to ensure that the funds are used in a way that provides concrete results. In this program, priority will be given to capacity building to reduce waste, improve waste management systems, cleanup, and as Alexander talked about, targeted awareness building, which we feel also is equally important. As part of our developing program, Norway has taken the initiative to establish a new multi-donor trust fund in the World Bank to improve waste management and prevent marine littering. Norway has initially allocated about $13 million this year, and more will come next year. But we would very much welcome all other partners, particularly governments in the room, to come up, partner with us and support this fund. And sixth, we feel very strongly that we need to act locally, but think globally. It's a cliche, but we feel that capacity building in heavily populated areas in Asia and Africa with rapid economic development, but with insufficient waste management systems, is not only important for their region, but can improve the situation on a global scale. Local and regional improvements in other areas, including Europe, is also important. Most of the litter in the Northeast Atlantic, for example, comes from countries surrounding the sea area there. It is therefore good to see that there are many actions planned in place, being worked at present on the regional seas level. For groups of states, including the G7, the G22, as in many individual nations. And the EU Commission has recently presented a proposal for a marine litter strategy for decision by the EU Parliament and implementation by the EU member state. But we must think bigger, even if we act locally. We need stronger joint international actions and commitments to reduce the plastic waste and microplastic. Now, we've been trying to contribute to bringing this at the top of the global agenda today through the UN Environment Assembly, with important support from many other states, including in Asia and Europe. Today, we are all meeting in this joint Asia-Europe meeting, another important forum. The decisions adopted by the UN Environment Assembly in 2014, in 2016, and in 2017 give important recommendations for governments and all stakeholders for action, priorities, not the least, and elements that should be included in action plans. We hope that this meeting also will contribute to the work ahead, as well as the ASEM summit coming up in October, I think it is. So I would just like to finish by a small appeal. The UN Environment Assembly has decided to establish an expert group to consider the existing framework to combat marine litter. Norway believes that we need a new global framework to combat marine litter and microplastics that can address the issue in a holistic and comprehensive manner. We hope that you can contribute to this important joint global effort. So let me just finish by repeating that when waste ends up in the ocean, we are facing a transboundary and common problem. As all countries contribute to the problem in some degree, we are also responsible to come together and find solutions. And we must never forget that this is, after all, one problem we can solve in the not too distant future. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Waker. Next presentation will be on new solutions for waste management in Europe. Presented by Mr. Werner Kosman, who is currently the ISAT Project Director supervising Thai-German climate program, integrated waste and wastewater management. He joins the GISAT from GTSAT and brings with him 19 years of experience working in the private sector at Natural Power. Mr. Kosman is an active speaker at various international meetings on waste management and energy. He also publishes his work in the topic of biogas. Please welcome Mr. Werner Kosman.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much to organizing committee to invite me. Allow me please to use the microphone because then I can walk around a little bit. I don't like so much to stand behind this board. I was asked actually to give a 5-minute presentation on an issue which is called new solutions actually for waste management in Europe. And I thought maybe I'd take actually an old solution, but which can be also a new solution in this area, which is the German dual system. And in there we have the green dot, actually, the grüne Punkt, which became actually famous for a successful take-back system in Germany. So, well, I think we don't have to talk about this much. This is just to stimulate you a little bit. Plastic waste actually contributes to all these so-called megatrends. It's climate change, it's environmental pollution, our marine littering, it's the exhaustion of, or depletion actually of resources, and it's also concern about the world population, which is growing rapidly. The German system actually is divided in two systems, and therefore it's called the dual system. The one is managed by the municipality or the public services, and the other one is managed by the private sector actually, or it's called the producer's responsibility, the extended producer's responsibility, which was introduced actually in 1991 with the so-called packaging audience, which was supposed to bring back the responsibility or to extend the responsibility for managing packaging waste by the ones who also produce it, by the producers. So this is the system in Germany, therefore it's called the dual system, or in German we call it das duale System Deutschland, DSD. And this is actually understood of light of packaging waste, which is lightweight packages, including PET. We have aluminium, we have PP, tin plates, PE, which is all collected actually in the so-called green, yellow bin or yellow bag. It is different from the area, from the municipality who are responsible for it. The green dot, der grüne Punkt, duales System, Germany, Deutschland, was established in 1990, actually shortly before the packaging ordinance was introduced. And it is the first producers responsible organization for packaging waste. At the beginning it was managed in a way that it was a monopoly, but not non-for-profit, so it was a non-profit organization. Later, in 2004, actually the market was opened for others too, and it became a competitive market. And now, besides the green dot or the grüne Punkt, we have another 9 private companies competing for the packaging waste. Actually, the system is full cost. That means there is no additional cost from the government, like subsidies. It's managed fully by the private sector. They take care of the collection, the sorting, the recycling of household packaging waste. This is shortly how the different waste materials, including paper, lightweight packaging and glass, which actually is separated from the household waste, is going to end up in the recycling. Just to show you the lightweight, for example, after collection it goes to the sorting plant, aluminium is going to aluminium smelters, the tin plate is going to the steel works, the composites, plastics and so on go to plastic recycling facilities. The leftover waste is the residuous waste is going for energy recovery in incinerators. This is how it works actually. We see all these yellow bins or yellow bags in Germany that have been collected either by the municipal collection system or by a private collection system. Then it's going to a sorting plant. From there, quite sophisticated actually is going to be. Okay, sorry. You get it? No, it doesn't like the other one. I want to show you the sorting plant. Yes, here it is, which is actually quite sophisticated, and nowadays is also equipped with so-called sorting machines, which allows to run these plants without staff. At the end, still we have a manual quality control where they are looking what kind of plastic material is in and is it in the right track, actually. Then here again, I would like to show you it doesn't really work well. Okay. The principle of the so-called extended producer responsible system, EPR system, in Germany. So the producers actually, they have to register their packaging material and pay for the material. This is the first step. Then the consumers actually, they pay for recycling. Basically it's internalized in the cost of the product. So they pay this additional cost of the product. Then the consumers have to sort the packaging material. And if they do this properly, actually they can save on their residual waste material, which actually saves on the fees then for the residual waste disposal. And then the waste management actually collects the packaging material, sorts it and recycles it, and this is mainly done on a tender basis. So in order to compete. So, okay, just a few facts. After the system was introduced in 1990, actually the total amount of waste has been reduced until 2040 by 10%, but the residual waste actually, which at the beginning consists of a lot of plastic waste actually, which was going to the landfill, has been reduced by 57%, which is quite considerable. At the same time, by 2014, there was no landfill being utilized or used anymore for household waste. And the separate collection and recycling has led to a 3.5-fold increase of separation. This is quite considerable. You can see this on the right-hand side in these colored sections. Sorry. Very briefly, actually, Germany will be introducing a new packaging act, which will follow the audience in the 1st of January 2019. And here you can see the targets which have been set before under the audience. Let's say go to the plastic waste, it was 60% recycling rate. In the new act, actually, it's set to be 90%, which should be achieved by 2020. Actually, the mechanical recycling, which has been achieved already up to 36% recycling of the packaging waste, should go up to 58%, and in 2020 then to 63%. So I think these are considerable numbers and show that this system has worked quite effectively and also efficiently actually. There is a number actually for they're calculating about as €10 waste or disposal fee or recycling fee, which every inhabitant in Germany has to pay per year actually, which is actually not much. And this is, I think, going to be done more efficiently in the future as competition is coming up, and which actually we can say is dedicated to this kind of private-based system where competition is allowed. But also, this has to be said, a good regulation is needed for it. So I want to finish for this point and show you a short video which summarizes this again, and then afterwards we can discuss it. Thank you.
A symbol that's familiar to people all over the world. Every year it's printed on more than 460 million packages. According to a study by GfK Market Research, it has a recognition level of 90% in Germany. As an internationally protected financing symbol, the green dot is intended to show consumers that producers are meeting their obligations as laid down in the German packaging ordinance. Following the German model, there are more than 25 green dot systems in Europe nowadays, using the trademark as a financing symbol. The original trademark is owned by DSD, or to be more precise, Der Grüne Punkt Duales System Deutschland GmbH, headquartered in Cologne. Der Grüne Punkt is one of the leading providers of take-back systems, the inventor of the yellow sack and the yellow bin for households, and responsible for collecting lightweight packages made of plastic, composites, aluminium and tinplate, and for recycling paper and glass packages. It was founded in 1990 as what was then the first and only dual system. This was a response to the German packaging ordinance, which was designed to avert the impending waste chaos in Germany due to overflowing landfills. The packaging ordinance, for the first time, made producers and retailers responsible for disposal and recovery of their packaging. The dual system has always been financed by participation fees. Since these fees are based on the weight of material that the package is concerned, it creates an incentive to optimize them. The lighter a package is and the less material it uses, the less waste is generated, and the cheaper it is for the producer. The example of a plastic yogurt tub shows just how well the packaging ordinance works as a tool for ecological guidance. In 1991, a tub weighed 7.2 grams, whereas nowadays it's only 4.7 grams, down by a third for the same content. Then there's the significantly increased plastic recycling rate. in 1991, this was a mere 3%, while today it's 54%. At the same time, Der Grüne Punkt has halved the system-related costs and thus proved its worth not only in ecological terms but in an economic context as well. As a link between manufacturers, retailers, the waste management, recycling industries and consumers, it's the central protagonist in the closed-cycle economy. And as the market leader among the dual systems, it offers a multitude of services. It organises the collection, sorting and recovery of packaging waste, commissions disposal partners all over Germany, and coordinates the collection logistics with the local councils. Networked internationally, Der Grüne Punkt supports globally operating customers in matters relating to reporting and accounting. In addition, it offers customized services and consultancy, such as Design for Recycling, a tool for sustainable packaging design. In order to close the recovery cycle, Der Grüne Punkt creates access to high-quality secondary raw materials, which replace virgin materials for manufacturing packages and products. All these activities serve the group's sustainability goals, to continually reduce environmental impact and to assume even more ecological responsibility. Consumers too support this goal. Germans have long since been acknowledged as the world's recycling champions, and right up to the present day associate sustainable package recycling with the green dot. To make sure things stay this way, Der Grüne Punkt Group year by year invests in new recycling processes and application technologies, enhances its plastic processing capabilities, and creates innovative consultancy options. Always with the aim of upgrading the quality of secondary raw materials and closing even more recovery cycles. The green dot, Der Grüne Punkt, a globally recognizable symbol for sustainability and a dependable partner in the closed cycle economy.
Well, this was just one example of how the industry can become involved in waste management and take responsibility. I would leave it like this, and if there's a chance for discussion, please take it on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grossman. And the next presentation will be on China actions for controlling marine debris. Represented by Dr. An Li Hui, who is a researcher working at the Chinese Research Academy of Environmental Science. He maintains an active research program in environmental toxicology involving the endocrine regulating of reproduction and development and the marine environmental criteria. He has also been instrumental in developing modeling approaches for environmental risk assessment. Dr. An has published over 40 research articles in toxicology. Please welcome Dr. An Li Hui.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, thanks for China to give me this important chance to exchange ideas for every effort. And thanks for the organization group, and they give me kindly help from last night and today. Now, I will to share the Chinese action plan for marine litter management in China. And I remember this morning, two speakers cited the genetic data published in Science in 2015, and top 20 countries which released a lot of garbage into environment, and China and Thailand is also are also the list. But although the data is should be reconsidered, and false is calculation method and analysis method, because China will also we recognize we recognize that a lot of litter has been declared in the environment, and we take actions to control this marine litter. Now I will. Now I will to between our views about from the following items. The first is about marine litter management in China. As we know, in China there are so long coastal from north to south, and along this coastal, various human activities are present at present. Especially the tourist area. When we're facing the marine, the ocean, well, we cannot find the marine litter, so we feel happy, but we turn back. Sorry. Turn back, there's a lot of beach litter, so we're very unhappy. So, to prevent and control this marine litter from the national levels, a lot of policy has been made. For example, for many years, for example, the environmental protection law and the marine environmental protection law, and I only to list some laws here. This is the national levels law, but also at the global, we also China also to attend the international conventions. For example, the Marpol Convention, London and Basel and GP and others. Last year, when we investigated the litter in Window City, and I noticed the cargo ships, the huge cargo ships. I found that there are so many garbage boxes in the ship, and when the ship ramps the dock, and all those boxes were transferred into the dock by the small ships, and so there is a strict regular procedure, and so also this litter can be treated. To monitor the marine litter in China, and about 50 stations has been set from the north to south, and from since 2007, and especially from 2006, the microplastic also has been monitored as a regular items. From this report, that the report, and we found that among all the marine litter, the plastic waste accounts for the majority of the marine litter, and so it's very important to control the marine litter by reducing the plastic waste. And last year, we investigate the beach litter in Window City. I found that in about 46 sites, and we found among this plastic litter, beach litter, almost the plastic bag of bottles with bottles in daily life. It's very another case from this data we saw that among this beach litter, almost we can identify them from where they form, and by identify the tags on the surface of this litter, the litter. From this data, we found Oasis is daily in the daily drink bottle or the food package. In fact, also especially the tourist area. Of course, we also do China also do attend the required to remove this individual, the government, the local governments to take action to clean this litter, the litter. And a lot of workers have been employed to do this every day and at work. Moreover, the China also to take part in the international coastal cleanup, SEC, and other and a lot of volunteer groups also have been made in recent years to remove or to control this marine litter. The above is the marine litter management. As we know, most of the marine litter is derived from the land activities. It's reported that more than 80% of the marine litter is derived from the land. And so, to control or prevent the marine litter, the basic rules is to strengthen the solid waste in land. So just as the marine litter management and laws and some in recent years some national action plans have been made in China, such as the water pollution and the water pollution prevention and control action plan and the soil and so on. Especially in this from 2018 to 2021, or three years action plan for poor environment governance have been performed in China to clean all the solid waste. For the water, for this action for the water, action plan, a system, a management system has been made in that from the province, city, county, and town. A fourth-grade management system has been made. In this system, the main chief is responsible for this river litter or marine litter. And the central government will to track this litter in yearly. If we found that there's a lot of garbage don't have been removed, and so the leader chief will be punished strictly. And so this system plays an important role to control the river litter. Especially in this year, a clearance action in Yangtze River has been performed, and 150 inspection groups had to track the waste, solid waste along the Yangtze River. And when we found the problems, for example, we found a lot of garbage dumping along the river, so the local government should be punished strictly. And so this promotes the local government to take actions to control this river garbage. Of course, both the marine litter and the river and the solid waste should need the research support. Support. So from in recent years, in recent years, some research products have been funded, and more funding has been supported this product, and from the monitor the distribution and transportation and toxicology and risk and others. From this research results, we found that in the marine and estuaries, we found a lot of microplastics in water sediment and the organism. From the ships of this microplastics, we know that this microplastic also from the fishing and other especially this from the special products. About this microplastics in the environment, we use the IUCN method to calculate the contribution from the different sources, and we found that the terrestrial is the most important source for this microplastics in the environment. As we know, the marine and microplastic is very the global threat at present. So we just to find to this question is has been recognized in recent years. So some work should be done in future to control this, especially from the laws and the technology and the economic and educations. About these four items, there are a lot of different barriers to block this, to control this marine. And so we will in future we will do from this four aspects to do some work and research to find the suitable solution to control the marine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next three presentations will be on the innovative ideas to tackle marine debris by leading corporations. So let's begin with Mr. Krisanan Prita Mehta Pimade, Chief Marketing Officer, Sinha Estate Public Company Limited. Mr. Krisanan, he is well-known business strategist and has served as an executive in various leading corporations, including Group CEO of Major Cineplex and CEO of Nokia Thailand and Indochina. Please welcome Mr. Krisanan.
สวัสดีครับ We have been supporting the national park on a number of conservation projects for many years, and we have learned good lessons of harmonious coexistence. To preserve national resource and well-being of community on sustainable developments. From the moment, we realized that only single unit with funding is not sufficient. we do need collaboration from our stakeholders and local community by raising awareness of the importance of ecosystem and biodiversity. Now, their impact to their communities, development and environmental conservation for sustainable growth with benefit for all stakeholders. The harmonious coexistence is now our corporate philosophy for everything we do to reinforce sustainable development strategy in committed to preserve national resource effectively. CS Stage is public company. Our business covers 3 areas: high-end residential, hospitality and hotels, commercial space rental and retails. In our business, we have to admit that we use plastics and we make waste to business process. In the same time, we also generating high demand on plastic that unfortunately will become urban waste and possibly source of marine debris. The report of Thailand was ranked 6th at country that deliver 1 million tons of plastic debris to the ocean. This has made our management aware on plan of water waste management to protect its natural resources by managing of reduced plastic consumption to sustainable marine developments. We believe that if we can reduce the initial source of environmental impacts, they will reduce automatically of the whole chain reaction of environmental impacts. By then, we should to force the project that fosters sustainability in every community that we become a part of, and attempt to reduce all initiative source of environment impact creations, rather than to effort of resolve solution when no impact produces. On the World Ocean Days, we have set out one of campaign to raise awareness about the cost and impact of marine waste. Our company have joined force with our alliance in Sun Tower building, which is one of our office building, to launch the campaign called See You Tomorrow. C is stand for SEAC, not SEE. You is us. Tomorrow is the next. The campaign by hope that to encourage the Sun Tower community to reduce their one-time use plastic consumption, aimed at the officer, worker in Sun Tower, vendor in the area, and general public joined by over than 10,000 participants, encouraging them to reduce plastic use, as well as adopt appropriate waste disposals and sourcing method in an attempt to reduce urban waste go to the ocean. We have brought in new innovation on size of waste disposal machine called RVM that you see in the picture. It stands for reverse vending machine. For PET bottle and aluminum can recycle via mobile application for pilot use in the market. The result turned out well throughout a campaign period. This campaign had been well received from all media cover of the campaign objective as one of the good practices on collaboration of our stakeholders in the communities. From knowledge transfer to educate of impact on marine debris and way to minimize them. So I have to show you the short form.
Can you hear me?
This is the short form that we made for social media. That's viral and have been
Every day
viewed
you hurt
and also
without
viewed
knowing.
follower more than
I am
millions
dying
and millions.
slowly and painfully. And you don't seem to care. Moreover, you heartlessly turn away from me.
On behalf of SCG, I would like to explain about what we are thinking in terms of sustainability and circular economy. So first of all, SCG, we have been around in Thailand for this year will be 105, and we are the leading industry conglomerate. We have operation in all Southeast Asia countries, and for us, sustainability has been always our guiding principle in terms of running business, and we strongly believe that sustainability is a win-win business practice that business, society, customer, everyone wins. So this is our guiding principle. So actually last month, when we say sustainability has been guiding principle for us, but we rearranged, but we redefine what we mean by sustainability by following the circular economy concept. So in July, we organized an SD event that we invite people not just from Thailand, but also from Southeast Asia, all stakeholders, about 700 people attend. And then we try to create a platform and event that raise awareness of what is circular economy and how it's going to help us moving the society and the business going forward. So it's a very well exchanged forum, very well accepted. We got many leading companies who come and explain to us what they practice. So we kindly get Dr. Sokit, who is the Deputy Prime Minister, to talk about what is his perspective in terms of circular economy and how it is going to be very relevant to Thai society. And also Mr. Peter Bunker is the president of the WPCSD that also come to explain about the circular economy and the business model and explain to the audience how it has been developing and how it has been practicing and how the organization and stakeholders try to move this concept forward. So for us, when we say circular economy, we say that, okay, what should we do? So we say that let's think about strategy, what kind of activity we want to focus. So first, we want to make sure that for the business, we ample technology for R&D. So we say, what should we do? So first, we say that we should develop material that very durable, things that reduce the usage. Second strategy is to try to upgrade things that you being used as raw material, using something that is less value and make it more valuable. Last is think about how to make. We're thinking about end of life, how to reuse things, how to recycle things. So this is kind of a three main strategic point for us, and then we develop project accordingly. So just want to give the example. I forgot to explain that for SCG we conglomerate. We have cement building material, we have pulp and paper business, and we have a plastic business. So for us, when we do circular economy, we cover the whole three business units. It's the same concept for all of us. For example, we have an example on the carton box that we developed technique that we can use short fiber. We can use the recycled short fiber and make it less weight, so it's very clean. So we use 25% of raw material reduced. So that's very useful. Also for the plastic, actually we have been looking at this recurring problem for a long time. So the past 10 years we try to develop plastic for durable application, things like the infrastructure or automotive. By being able to develop technology, we were able to reduce the portion of product that we sell to the single-use market. So for us, for the past 10 years, we cut down of the portion of plastic that we sell to the single-use market by half. And our scale is about close to 2 million tons a year. So that's significant effort that we have been trying to do for the past 10 years. This is an example from the cement. We call it hybrid cement, but actually it's a cement that we use some secondary source of raw material and make it to the cement. So we reduce the raw material that being used. So you reduce the amount of mining that you have to do. So this is very useful. Last is more on about example of doing the reuse recycle. So we are from paper business, and we in Southeast Asia we don't have access to what we call long fiber. So we don't have a fast growing pine tree or something. So using the recycled paper to get the fiber is very important. So actually we have a paper building station all over Southeast Asia to collect the paper waste and bring back to our pulp and paper plant. Another example is we work with the company that they make the heat insulation for the refrigerator, and then it's from Japan, and then we work with them to use gas bottle, and then we recycle it to this heat insulation for the refrigerator. And also for packaging, we're working on trying to make the packaging less complicated, easy to recycle. So we very much focus on mono material recycle. And also we have some plastic off spec from our manufacturing of very durable grade plastic, and we think it's still very durable, so we use it as a threshold. So this is the thing that we working with the community near the factory site, which is the seaside. It has been very well accepted. So last, when we're talking about plastic waste, actually, there is a limit of things that you can bring back to use as a virgin material. So many waste have to be get rid of. So for us, we say that let's try to find a second life of this kind of plastic waste that is still useful. So our partner, Dow Chemical, which is our partner in Thailand, they have a project in India that they use the mixed plastic waste, and then they put it back as a additive for the bitumen, for the asphalt road. So we're working with them to bring this concept and this technology to Thailand, because we believe that one way to help solving the marine littering is to try to make sure that waste has afterlife, have something useful to be used. Then people will try to make sense and try to reduce it. Otherwise, they just don't care. So that's why we have to develop applications that can take the mixed plastic waste that is not so easy to sort out, and then find a new way to use it. So for us, this is a new guiding principle for us. It's a circular economy. We think that in the long run, it very much makes sense. For us, it's more about using resource efficiently and try to use every ounce of the every molecule of the thing that you dig out from the land or cut from the tree and then make some material like paper or plastic, and you try to extend that life or try to make sure that you use it very effectively. And we believe that this circular economy is thing that we have to work with. For us, we big conglomerate, but we're very small compared to the whole economic system. So we're more than happy to work with the competitor, with the value chain customer, and with the government to drive this circular economy concept. So I think a lot of challenge, but I think a lot of opportunity and a lot of technology innovation can also help. So this is overall picture of SCG in terms of the circular economy and sustainability. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Surasha. Last but not least, from the leading corporations, from the PT Global Chemical Public Company Limited, Mr. Nathanan Sirira. He is the Vice President for Business Development of PT Global Chemical Public Company Limited. He is also Managing Director of the DZ Estate Company Limited. His work focuses on business development projects on upstream and downstream petrochemical industry, joint venture and M&A project for international projects, as well as industrial land development. Please welcome Mr. Nathanan Sirira.
Good afternoon, all the participants. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity today to for us PTT Global Chemical to share our initiative to tackle about the marine debris. PTT Global Chemical, we are the petrochemical and also the plastic maker. We also are the leading in the Dow Jones ranking also. So then when we hearing about the plastic issue, the plastic leakage into the sea, we also did some project in the past couple of years. We already have that. Today I would like to share with you with our initiative and the project that currently that we are working. The first one I think is the project of the upcycling. The upcycling is we are working together with tourist authority of the Thailand and also IRCULAR to collect the waste from the sea and transfer to be the finished good something, and then we show you with the video. And also the second purpose for this project, also we would like to create a pilot project for the circular economy in the Thailand. And the third objective is to clean our sea. Okay, so then maybe please open the video. It takes 2 minutes to understand what is the upcycling, what is our project.
ใครๆก็รู้จักการรีไซเคิลแต่จะมีกี่คน
โทษนะครับ
ที่รู้จักการ upcycling upcycling คือการนำขยะหรือของเหลือใช้มาแปรรูปและใส่ไอเดียเพิ่มมูลค่าให้กลับมาใช้ประโยชน์ได้อีกครั้งประยุกต์ตามหลัก circular economy หรือเศรษฐกิจหมุนเวียนที่มุ่งเน้นการใช้ทรัพยากรอย่างมีประสิทธิภาพเปลี่ยนของเหลือใช้ให้เป็นวัตถุดิบสำหรับการผลิตสินค้าใหม่เพิ่มมูลค่าทางเศรษฐกิจและแก้ปัญหาสิ่งแวดล้อมไปพร้อมกันสุดยอด Upcycling the Ocean Thailand คื คือโครงการแก้ปัญหาขยะในท้องทะเลไทยด้วยการเก็บขยะพลาสติกมาสร้างสรรค์ชีวิตใหม่เป็นสินค้าแฟชั่นไม่ว่าจะเป็นเสื้อผ้ากระเป๋าหรือสินค้าแฟชั่นอื่นๆเป็นการเปลี่ยนวัฏจักรการเดินทางของขยะจากชายหาดและใต้ทะเล from trash to treasure Upcycling the Ocean Thailand ทำการรวบรวมขยะพลาสติกด้วยความร่วมมือจากอาสาสมัครทั่วประเทศทั้งขยะตามแนวชายหาดและขยะใต้ทะเลเอามาแยกประเภทเป็นขยะกลุ่มเพชรและขยะกลุ่ม PE ก่อนจะนำเข้าสู่การแปรรูปหมดขยะกลุ่มเพชรคือขวดพลาสติกใสต่างๆจะถูกนำมาย่อยเป็นชิ้นเล็กๆแล้วนำไปปั่นเป็นเส้นใหญ่ก่อนจะนำมาทอใหม่เป็นผืนผ้าว้าวชุบชีวิตให้กลายเป็นสินค้าแฟชั่นหลากดีไซน์ส่วนขยะกลุ่ม PE คือถุงพลาสติกจะถูกนำมาหลอมเป็นเม็ดพลาสติกใส่สารเติมแต่งให้พร้อมต่อการแปรรูปนำไปผลิตเป็นสินค้าแฟชั่นที่สร้างมูลค่าเพิ่มได้ต่อไปUpcycling the Ocean Thailand คือต้นแบบเศรษฐกิจหมุนเวียนที่ช่วยจัดการปัญหาขยะและของเหลือใช้ให้กลับมาใช้ประโยชน์ได้ใหม่ด้วยนวัตกรรมการแปรรูปขยะให้เป็นวัตถุดิบแทนการผลิตใหม่ทั้งหมดช่วยให้ขยะพลาสติกกลับมามีชีวิตใหม่อีกครั้งคุณและก็คุณก็สามารถเป็นส่วนหนึ่งของโครงการนี้ได้ด้วยการทิ้งขยะพลาสติกที่จุดรวบรวมขยะพลาสติกของโครงการหรือติดตามข่าวสารและร่วมกิจกรรมต่างๆมากมายได้ที่ Facebook Upcycling the Ocean Thailand จดไม่ทันเอาใหม่อีกครับ Upcycling the Ocean Thailand แล้วขยะจะไม่เป็นแค่ขยะอีกต่อไปร่วมสนับสนุนการดูแลทะเลไทยให้สวยงามและยั่งยืนโดยการท่องเที่ยวแห่งประเทศไทยPTT Global Chemical วิธี Eco Up
Okay, this activity is a continuous project for us. This year, we did since last year in September, and also this year in January in Phuket. So we still continue, and we hope we can expand more this project together with all the volunteers who are concerning about the sea. You can join us. Today, with the record, we all can collect the waste from the sea around 10 tons, and now is the process to convert all the plastic waste to be the finished good. Our product, innovative product, or some the fashion will available on Q4 or at the end of this year. So then, is you can help or can participate in this program. At the end of the presentation, I have the detail, and you can follow up together. Certain initiative, the thing is, we already implemented the West Bank. In Thai, we call Think Cycle. The West Bank that we are developed, we have 12 primary schools to join us this program. We have around 3,000 people, students to join us. The main purpose for this project is we want to create the knowledge, the waste education, the understanding of the circular economy. We hope that the students, when they get to the family, they're going to teach the family as well. So they will get the multiple effects for that. Not only the primary school, we implement this concept inside PTT Global Chemical as well. If we don't practice this, I think we cannot convince the body outside the organization. We hope this should be the change agent for the Thai society in the future if we want to make the circular economy happen in Thailand. This project is just implemented a couple of weeks, so then I cannot share all the experience what we are learning, but we keep focusing, and we hope we can share something back to society, that what we learn and how we change the behavior of the people. And the last one I think is people. We also see that this is the industry level to make the circular economy, because from the experience from us for the upcycling project or for the circular project, I think the more important thing to make the circular economy happen is the collaboration. We have to work to collaborate from upstream to the downstream, from the plastic producer, from the converter, from the end-use industry, from the brand owner, retailer, until the consumer. This will have to be collaborated. If not, otherwise you cannot drive the circular loop economy happen. So with the collaborative, we need the middleman to help us to facilitate, to make the circular loop. I think the government role is so important to help us to facilitate, to moderate, and to governance, and also to provide the incentive also to make the circular loop happen. We hope that we can, with the support from the government, we can expand our upcycling project to make on the commercial basis, to be the world-scale recycle plant or the business that may more commercialize, that can handle the massive of the waste, plastics waste in Thailand. That's all our initiative from PTT Global. The last one, sorry. The last one. If you want to follow up or to monitor or to participate our upcycling project, we can continue with the Facebook. Also, the contact is to Lady. She are the person who are responsible for the upcycling. This contact here, the telephone and email. I hope to see you all. And also, we still continue monthly upcycling in Ban Phir Rayong, so that you can join us monthly basis for the activity. Thank you much.
Thank you, Mr. Nathanan. And the next presentation on local community actions in tackling marine debris and experience from PP Island. By Mr. Kanakon Wongna. He's the President of the Commission on Overseeing and Following Up Police Administration and Tour Operator on PP Island in Krabi Province. He's also the island's community leader who initiates waste management plan on the island called PP Model, together with other government authorities and academians. This presentation will be conducted in Thai, and Dr. Thorn Tharuravaswat will provide an English translation. So please welcome Mr. Kanakon and Dr. Thorn.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kanakon Wongna. I am a businessman in PP Island. And today I would like to say speak Thai. ก็สวัสดีครับผมนายธนากร วงนานะครับเป็นนักธุรกิจที่อยู่กับ PP ซึ่งเป็นลูกหลานคนดั้งเดิมนะครับกับ PP นี่เรามีกันทั้งหมด14 ตารางกิโลเมตรนะฮะมีร่วมกันประมาณ5 เกาะที่อยู่ในละแวกนะครับมีเกาะไผ่ปีดานนอกPP เลแล้วก็PP ดอนPP ดอนนี่เรามี2 หมู่บ้านนะครับหมู่ที่ 7 หมู่ที่ 8 ซึ่งมีประชากรรวมกันประมาณ 20,000 คนหมื่นกว่าคน2 หมู่บ้านรวมกับประชากรแฝงนะครับแต่จริงแล้วชาวบ้านที่ว่าทำมาหากินอยู่ก็มีแค่ประมาณ 1,000 กว่าคนนะครับ
I Don't worry about that. Thanakorn is my friend. We are working together during the time that we go down to PP, and he is a very powerful person from the PP Island. At the PP Island. PP Island is an island in the southern part of Thailand. It's very well known for the beach, as you know. Leonardo DiCaprio, the movie is not too good, but it's very famous. So everybody would like to go to see the beach. Go on, please. Like there are two villages. There are two villages. From the one of the number 5, one of the 5th most beautiful island in the world is changed because not a PP people, because your people, Euro people, they come and they share everything. If you like only coconut, you still have coconut, but you don't like only coconut, you like a swimming pool too. So share. So now we have we from the village that we call from 400 people working on a coconut farm. 400 people at 30 years ago. Now they come to 1,000 PP people, but they have another 9,000 other people from everywhere in Thailand and the world come together to do some business on PP. And now we have 10,000 people on the island. We have 2 villages. This is only one village. This is a village. Please understand, this is a village. This is not a town, it's a village.
ครับก็ภาพที่เห็นนะครับก็เป็นแค่หมู่เดียวที่ 7ดูแล้วกันนะครับว่าตอนนี้มันขยะที่เข้ามาที่บ้านผมเนี่ยเฉพาะนักธุรกิจที่เห็นเป็นบ้านเรือนอาคารนะครับขยะนี่โอ้โหมหาศาลวันหนึ่งนะครับขยะจุลินทรีย์ที่ว่าขนถ่ายไปในอำเภอเมืองแผ่นดินใหญ่ประมาณ30 ตันนะครับต่อวันขยะ
Around 30 tons of waste each day per day because there are
ปีหนึ่งก็ประมาณ2 ล้านหรือ3 ล้านนะครับ
3 million visitors per year
ครับก็เมื่อก่อนเนี่ยการบริหารจัดการนะครับพวกเราชาวของพีพีนะครับเป็นชาวบ้านนะครับยังไม่มีความรู้นะครับเกี่ยวกับการกำจัดขยะนะครับเดี๋ยวพอ3 ปีที่แล้วนะครับก็ได้มีการอุทยานนะครับแล้วก็มีภาคส่วนภาครัฐพีพีโมเดลนะครับก็อาจารย์ได้เข้ามาดูแล้วก็ได้มีส่วนร่วมชาวบ้านนะครับก็คือได้มีข้อคิดที่ดีๆนะครับหลายๆอย่างในการบูรณะจัดการของพีพีของบ้านเรานะครับเช่นเนี่ยครับภาพนี้นะครับไอ้นี่เป็นขยะมาจากข้างนอกนะครับไอ้นี่คือพีพีเลนะครับพีพีเลนี่ไม่มีคนอยู่เลยนะครับฉะนั้นขยะที่เราเห็นอยู่ตามซอกหินตามปะการังเนี่ยมันมาจากข้างนอกทิศทางลมมาจากภูเก็ตคิดดูว่าขยะที่มาจากภูเก็ตเท่าไหร่ทิศทางลมที่มาจากกระบี่มันเท่าไหร่เพราะว่าพีมันอยู่ตรงกลางนะครับ
So this is not from PP because the PP is island as you see. There are still some people at PP, but all the garbage, all the waste, plastic waste also come from Phuket. And also you can see behind is a karst island. So when the waste come in, plastic waste come in, it's just floating there. It looks like a big garbage bin. And everything come together and stay inside. So I have to use my remote control. This is my remote control. So we work together for almost more than 4 years, try to collect all the waste from Phuket, from Krabi, and from maybe from Indian Ocean also. So it's a very tough work for most of us.
ครับก็ไม่ได้ PV โมเดลเข้ามาไม่ได้จัดเข้ามานะครับเราก็มีการวางแผนนะครับว่าเราจะทำยังไงกับขยะพวกนี้นะครับก็เราก็ได้มีกลุ่มพิทักษ์ PP นะครับ คนที่อยู่ตรงกลางนี่คือเป็นประธานคนที่หนึ่งซึ่งได้เสียชีวิตไปแล้วนะครับใช่ครับฉะนั้นผมตอนนี้ก็เป็นประธานเป็นรองประธานนะครับและมีคุณลุงที่เป็นประธานก็คือท่านผู้ที่สับกองเกิดนะครับณตอนนี้3 ปีนะครับการบริหารจัดการของขยะตั้งแต่มีโมเดลเข้าไปนะครับท่านหัวหน้าอุทยานด้วยนะครับก็คือในส่วนของทางทะเลนะครับเราก็1 เดือนเราจะมีการไปเก็บขยะทางทะเลนะครับร่วมกับอุทยานอบตและภาคประชาชนตำรวจนะครับเดือนละ3 ครั้งนะครับทุกวันที่10 20 30ทางทะเลเพื่อไปเก็บขยะที่ลอยมาที่อยู่ในแกะกล่องเล็กๆตามซอกนะครับมาเก็บมาแล้วก็เอาขึ้นมาฝังส่วนขยะที่อยู่ใต้ดินเราจะทำยังไงเราก็ต้องให้ผู้ประกอบการที่เป็นไดวิ่งคือดำน้ำลึกเนี่ยช่วยฝรั่งพวกนี้เก่งมากนะครับผมยอมรับเลยถ้าไม่มีไอ้ไดวิ่งพวกนี้นะครับขยะที่อยู่ใต้น้ำเราไม่สามารถที่จะเอาขึ้นมาได้นะครับ
last 3 years ago we had a PP model that we work together. At that time I'm a national reform committee as well as this time. So I would like to get the example for Thailand of how to we manage the marine debris. So I go down to PP, went down to PP, talk to many people over there, and we set up the plan. The villager join together, create the group. In the middle is a leader of the group who already passed away because microplastic, and then after he is now the leader of the group, and we join together with the national park officer, with the policeman, everybody. PP is like international island. It's not only Thai people working over there. So many people, especially from Europe, there are a lot of dive shop, more than 20 dive shop, and also tourism operator. They are from France, from German, from Russia, from other places come together. So we do every month we have a diving activity to dive down to collect all the plastic in the coral reef and every place, and we join together like a scuba diver, instructor and operator. So it's kind of international program to fight with marine debris, and we join every operator and hotel. There are a lot of hotels also join together to help each other to save the small but very beautiful island.
แล้วก็ในส่วนเมื่อกี้ทางทะเลไปแล้วนะครับในส่วนบนฝั่งก็นักธุรกิจที่เป็นธุรกิจโรงแรมนะครับมีอยู่ประมาณหลายร้อยแล้วก็ทุกวันที่10 30 20ก็เหมือนกันนะครับมาเดินเก็บตามหาดหรือว่าตามคูน้ำหรือว่าตามซอกอะไรครับลงเด็กนักเรียนนะครับก็มาช่วยกันนะครับก็เดือนหนึ่ง3 ครั้งก็ทำให้ขยะของเราเนี่ยเห็นแบบเกิดการได้น้อยนะครับแล้วก็ในส่วนของการบริหารจัดการนะครับก็แต่ละโรงแรมก็เขาคัดแยกขยะเอาไว้ให้นะครับขยะแห้งขยะเปียกอะไรพวกนี้ขยะไหนที่ขายได้ก็ตอนนี้ก็มีนายทุนมารับซื้อก็เยอะเหมือนกันก็แบ่งเบาภาระไปก็เยอะเหมือนกันนะครับในส่วนของภาคพื้นนะครับแล้วก็ต้องขอบคุณในส่วนของอุทยานและตอนนี้ก็มีได้ข่าวว่ามีโครงการเกี่ยวกับลดพลาสติกในเขตอุทยานครับพีนี่เป็นเขตอุทยานทั้งหมดนะครับก็ดีเลยครับถ้าไม่เข้าพลาสติกนี่ก็บ้านผมก็น่าจะฝรั่งเยอะกว่าขยะครับ
Okay, so we just conclude that now we are working for 30 tons a day every night around 4 ทุ่ม from what they call 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. They will have a small car go around the hotel and correct all the plastic waste, and then all the waste is not landfill on PP. We get rid to the shore, give it using the boat transport to the shore, and every day there are more and more people. But we hope that we try to find out the way, and we try to do the best that our small village in the beautiful Andaman Island can work on, and we hope that we can join with other group as a volunteer from other each country or whatever, because we already know that PP is not belong to Thailand, because at the moment it's an international island. There are more more than 90% of the visitors of PP is not Thai people, it's international people, and around 50% is around maybe 30% is from Europe, and another 60% is from your country, China. It's really famous. so we hope that it's a world challenge to save the island of the world. It's not an island for Thailand. We save it not only for Thai people, but save it for your people to come back and see one of the most beautiful islands. And we also thank to SCG and PTTGC that will support us by buying all our plastic bottle, right? Yes. We find somebody to buy it already. So the outcome is very easy. If you want to manage the meeting, you have to get the outcome, and output is we can sell it now. Good. High price. International plastic should be very high price. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any problem, you can talk to him later. And we hope that everything will show you a lesson, and he hope that PP will have less plastic than visitor in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanandron and Dr. Thorn. Next presentation will be on communities-based practices to tackle with marine debris in Thailand by Dr. Somkiat Khawkiatwong. He is a specialist on marine biodiversity research of the Marine and Coastal Resource Department, Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment of Thailand. He is also serves in various international working groups in the field of marine environment and climate change, including as a vice chair of the UNESCO's Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission. Please welcome Dr. Somkiat Khawkiatwong.
So good afternoon. I hope that you are still not sleepy, because I hope we can have the coffee break very soon. I have to declare that I'm not a social science. I'm the scientist, and that today I try to tell you a story. What the MCR is having worked with many partners, and then we have been seeing some kind of good practice, and then try to present you. And then we know that we have been talking a lot in this morning about the problem of the plastic debris in the ocean came from the mismanagement of the waste, inland waste, and then it's going to the ocean. And then the way to solve the problem, to set up very good management of those waste on land. And that was another way we can help to reduce the waste. Is also can help a lot. And then is one of my I'm going to present you. It's one of the example. Is this slightly different from previous presentation? I give you this kind of example from one university in Bangkok. There has been concern about the problem of the plastic waste. Has been used every day in the university, and then they set up the project they call Jura Zero Waste. Chulalongkorn University. They set it out, and then the proposal of this Jura Zero Waste. They would like to set up the prototype for the best practice on the waste management system in university. It means that the waste management should be actually the complete, the site, the system from the collecting until from the sending to for the waste to the management system. And the second, the proposal to reduce the waste to less than 30% of the present day. Present day means that about 2 years ago, and then to 30% in 2021. And the third one to build up the feeling of the responsibility on the zero waste in the social. It's a social, it means student. And every year you get the student, there's a few thousand students in university, and by the way, every year you produce the news, the news people go out to the work in the world, in the country, every year it's a few thousand. Those people, if they can take up that habit, to protect, environment, reduce or reuse or even to stop using those single plastic bag or the plastic product. It can help a lot to reduce those kind of waste in the socials. Oh, sorry, that is it's a bit okay. I think it's something wrong with that. Okay, it's not very. Could you go back? Could you go back? Back again. Back again. Okay, sorry. This one I think is something wrong with the PPT. Normally, this one they try to they have set up this system in university from the beginning. You know, have to have the good plan. You know, and then disseminate information to the student university before they start up to make the plan. You know, it's from the source of the plastic. It's been talking with those for example, those open market or market in the co-op in the university and they left that even in the canteen, and then they're to cooperate in terms of try to reduce the material which is made from the plastic. And then the second, they are planning how to collect those kind of waste, the plastic in university. And then how the student to reduce to use those kind of plastic. For example, they provide the bottle made from, even it made from the plastic, but it's not a single-use plastic. It can be used for, I think, for long years, and then they gave it to students and they how to use it. And finally, they also collect after they collect all the waste, all the plastic waste, and then they manage to send to the organized responsibility to manage about those waste. That's why the plan they are the planning we are doing. Because this work they could not do it alone. They have to work with many faculty, many departments, or all the stakeholders in university to cooperate to help to work together. And there are many campaigns. For example, that I'm sorry that it's in Thai because I took it from the poster from the project. The first one there in the 1st of December is 2016, and then they try to stop using the coffee cup, made from the plastic, and then they stopped using using the plastic in the 1st of February in 2017, and then stopped using styrofoam in 1st of March in 2017 as well. That is this they have to put up the target after they implement the project, how to reduce the plastic. And then they're also talking with the shop, the coffee shop, or even the canteen. If the people you bring your own container, you can get some reduction from the price of those soft drink or coffee. And then the one that I mentioned to you, they make up those kind of container and give it to students. And then that student have their own container, the water they can get it with water, and then they can use it. No need to buy the water with the container with the plastic. And then they also working with the co-op, and even the market in the university to reduce to use those kind of plastic and then try to use your own your own container to buy the food, to buy the soft drink or whatever, and then they can get some discount, from to use your own containers. And then that's kind of the thing. Even if you use some, you really need the plastic. You also can buy. You have to pay the money, and then that is the one. And also, even though they also have the box, the people who have the bag, you then use it, you put it in the box, and the people can borrow it to use it. After that, you can turn it back to put it back in the box, something like that. This is the practice has been this is University. The project has been started in November 2016, and then the number of those plastic, especially this kind of plastic bag, and then they're working the Chulalongkorn Corporation, and then you can see that after they implemented campaign to reduce the plastic, number is reduced. It's very very fast. And then after they start to stop to use the plastic in February last year, the number is from, you can see that from almost 70,000 bags per month in the just 2,000. That is dramatically reduce those kind of plastic used in Chulalongkorn University. This is some kind of practice that start in Chulalongkorn University, and then now I know there are many universities that start to do the practice as well the same way. This is the way we can how to reduce those kind of plastic bags. Also can build up the habit of the student in the university before they go out to work outside the university or in the country. They can pick up that habit and then use it in outside. It can also help us for long term to reduce the plastic. That is one example from university. And then the other one, we have been seeing a lot of name of Zero Trust Thailand campaign or Zero Trust waste, or even I saw in some authority from the Trust Hero also is one operating in Southern Park. I think he will give a talk later on today. And then this for one example, I try to get is that they start up in the late of last year. Is it they use the size, select the size, one size, this one different, this one from the Jurong, it's from in the community. And this one they're working in the tourist area, one of the beaches of Wangama, the beach in the Pattaya, Chonburi province. This area is very popular for the tourists. And then in the Pattaya they have the beach around 15 kilometers, and this beach around 1 kilometer. And then the project, you can see that one we need some leadership. The leader is very important to do this kind of work. And then that they have the student from the we call it institute. Is one. Normally this is not for the general student. Normally the people that work in the government, and then they go for training, learning for the short time period or 1 year period. And then those students, they are working, they are formulated to work together with the local government, and then also get involved with stakeholders from the hotel operators, businessmen, traders, local people, students, and the tourists. Because tourists is very important stakeholder. And then to operate this kind of zero touch in the Wangama beach. And then the activity of this group of the people, they have to organize meeting together with stakeholders to disseminate what the target they would like to do, and then what the important how those have the problem of the garbage. Normally the garbage, you can see that on the beach. Maybe every morning you can see after the high tide, you can saw a lot of garbage on the beach. And that also build up the conscious campaign. And also the thing they think is very important, law enforcement also has to be applied in some way to make it more effective in the beginning. And then also regularly clean up, every week, one day a week to make a big cleaning day on the beaches. Then also disseminate information to the tourists, to the media or SMS. Normally the tourists go to this area, they can receive the message about this campaign, about clean up of the beaches. Okay, that's one of the example that have been working from the publish, and then in the tourist area, because I say that they have to work with the local government, very important. If you're working alone, and then you get a lot of waste, how are you going to manage with that? Because if the local government involved, at least they can help in terms of to get rid of the waste after you collect it, and then that is the way. And then the other one, I think, is as I mentioned, that the leadership is very important to encourage activity. As this the previous mention, so mentioned that we need a lot of government also get involved to help in some way. And then the government can be some kind. We have a lot of best practice. If we let them go by themselves, it will take 10 years, 5 years before they start to expand more, in other areas. The government can help to trigger, the publish, to get more faster, to implement a lot of activity in the country. For example, one of these projects is that we call the smoke-free and zero waste beach. It means that we know there's a lot of before that we have a lot of tourists, in the tourist area. After you smoke, you can throw the cigarette butt on the beach, and then we start to do the estimate how much is the cigarette butt on the beach. We can see the hill of that on the beach.
And then what is going to happen? The problem with the cigarette butt, because cigarette butt you already feel a lot of bad things, the chemical, even the metal on the cigarette butt, and that is that kind. I think is that kind of fiber and made from the acetate. And then after you throw it on the beach, it can after the paper is get wet and you can break out, and then you can get a lot of microplastic on the beach as well. And then that is, we think that will say, that's for the way, that's why the Department of Marine and Coastal Resources, we work with the local government, and then we say that after by 31st October 2017, last year, we signed the MOU with the 15 coastal provinces and now 20 beaches in the 15 provinces at the pilot site for this campaign. Is then no smoker on the beach. We provide the area for them to smoke. They cannot smoke everywhere, anywhere they like it. They have to go to the place we provide. That is seems to be is going very well, very well. And then the other example, as I mentioned, as you have been listened to before, speaker have been talking a lot what they have been done, what they have been doing, and then the Department of Coastal and Marine Resources, we have been working with a lot of partners, a lot of private sector on this kind of problem to reduce, reuse, or recycle of the plastic to provide the problem of the increase of marine plastic debris in the ocean. And then we take the opportunity of the World Ocean Day on the 8th of June 2018 this year, and then because of the theme of the World Ocean Day, about clean our ocean, we take this opportunity, is to bring a lot of those our partner, that we work with art to try to reduce those plastic in the ocean to make some kind of extra to come to join us. And then we also invite the governmental organization to give the statement, because, for example, we invite UN resident coordinator, UNDP resident representative, UNEP Regional C, and UNESCO IC Subcommission for the Western Pacific, because this organization is normally already support this kind of activity to reduce the use of the plastic, to reduce the plastic in the ocean. And then those representatives have been give those kind of statement in doing the meeting. And then we also invite many partners, as I mentioned to you, express intention on the conservation of marine environment. For example, plastic industry, they have 5 representatives. And then you have been learned a lot already in previous talk about those from those sectors. And then we're talking about innovation, new material for the plastic bag, foundation to set up, even to set up demonstration site for to demonstrate how that can reduce or reduce those kind of plastic, eco design, support food management system of the plastic. That's from the private sector. And then also we representative from other private sector, from retail and supermarkets, and then to corporate to reduce or even stop in the future, giving the plastic back to the customer. That is even maybe in the future. We're still talking about how those kind of retail supermarket can help to reduce using of the single plastic use, And then the Department of Local Administration is the government, because this one they work with all the local, with local government around the country, and then also make commitment that we work together with all their network in the country to can make the campaign in the local market, and then to reduce to use all those plastic, single-use plastic as well. And then we also have representative students to express what they're feeling about is the plastic problem. And then this, we also in the past few years we have a lot of campaign with the local markets of every country. They have the sign. You go in the countryside, you can see the sign that the campaign reduce the plastic. And we are working with the supermarket at this morning. Permanent Secretary already present. And then in the government side, we started already. I said before that all national park they stop to bring the plastic back in the national park or use in the national park. Many government office now stop plastic free in the office area, and then now I heard that in the many hospital now they start to give the plastic back. Normally they give the back to put the medicine to to the partial who came to the hospital. Now we stop giving the plastic back as well. That's the way now in Thailand we are working together to reduce it. And you can see that there are, as you learned from the PP already, tourist sector also have been working not only from PP, other area as well. They are working together to try to have a cleanup day or even have activity to reduce the using of the plastic. Even the fishery sector now, fishery department also concerned this problem. They are working very close with the fishermen how to take those kind of, the damaged gear, or they don't use the net back to the shore and then go to the management property, and then even though all the plastic container they use on the vessel have to bring back on land. That is some kind of what we are doing in Thailand, and we hope that the government can be the driver to help to support and then to make those kind of activity to be expanded in the country really quick, and then we hope that in the near future we can reduce those kind of using of the single-use plastic. We know that the plastic, we could not avoid the plastic in our life. We can use it for in many purposes, but at least if we can stop to use those single-use plastic, also we can reduce the use. We can reduce the waste go through the management system. If the management, if they meet the management system, they are not have the plastic go into the ocean. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Somkia. And the next presentation will be on success story of Chemo International on fishing for litter initiative by Mr. Mike Manat. Mr. Mike Manat is currently Executive Secretary of Chemo Netherlands Belgian Network, the environmental association of coastal municipalities. In this capacity, apart from coordinating the Dutch national network of coastal municipalities and management of the organization, he works on strategic policy development and lobbying at the EU level in Brussels for Chemo International's Northwestern European Network as well. Please welcome Mr. Mike Manat.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the floor. I hope you're still awake. It's an honor to be here and to be invited here in warm Thailand. It's freezing now in this room. What I'm going to explain to you is a number of projects that are already running since the year 2001. But first I have to explain a little bit what my organization is about. I hope we can overcome the problems of my predecessors. Chemo is a Norwegian abbreviation. It was good that also someone from Norway was present here. It is a corporation of 160 municipalities in Northwest Europe. And Norway is going to join again. We lost it somewhere in the 1990s. But this here is the Northwest Europe, UK, Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Denmark, Sweden are at this moment joining the organization. And why was Chemo established? The Municipalities for Sustainable Seas, as we call ourselves. The very reason for this was that in the 1980s already and also in the 1990s, coastal municipalities were quite often suffering from environmental pollution. There was quite a lot of oil on the beaches, paraffin was a major threat, and also the transport of nuclear waste along the coastline at that time. It's now different a bit. And the problem was that the coastal municipalities were suffering from the cost and from this kind of waste. But the national government and also the European Union were not really listening. So 4 municipalities, 2 from the United Kingdom, Denmark and Norway started to join up, and they established this Association of Coastal Municipalities. I represent the Chemo network in the Netherlands and Belgium, which I'm the secretary. And I'm also the lobbyist for Chemo in Brussels because we have only 7 staff members and the Netherlands is closest to Brussels. Yes, good. Now, being in local government and being very much in contact with provincial governments, but also with the national government and also, for instance, with the European Commission, we were very much afraid of marine pollution at large, but we also discovered already in the end of the 1980s that marine litter was a major issue. So what could you do to deal with this? Of course, you're a small municipality somewhere, and this is a major threat. Specifically, what we already heard about co-pipidon and co-pipile. What can you do? 30 tons of waste a day. It's really huge. It costs a lot of money. Now what can you do? Now you have to engage as a small local authority, all kinds of stakeholders to help you. Funding is a nightmare, of course. So what can you do? Whether it is in Northwest Europe or whether it is in Asia, it doesn't matter that much. Now what we did is that we started working jointly together, engaging the local government and the national governments and the provincial governments. We started working together with fishermen and fishery platforms, which are quite often organized on the national level. Port authorities and ports. In my country and also in Western Europe, you see that it quite often is or independent, or it is kind of a business enterprise in which also the municipality takes some shares. It's quite often a separate enterprise. And waste collection and processing industry had to be engaged in this kind of process to deal with this problem in an efficient manner. Now this resulted already in the year 2001 of establishing a project with the name Fishing for Litter. Fishing for Litter, I will explain further on that, is a cooperation specifically with the fisheries industry, especially also with fishermen. And in the year 2014, we started a number of green deals. And that's a little bit broader, but can also be implemented in other parts, is where local stakeholders were jointly together with national stakeholders to address an environmental problem. We'll elaborate on that soon. Now our jewel in the crown, as we always call it, is the Fishing for Litter scheme. What is it about? Now it is a very simple project, and the basis is very simple. Fishermen also here, while they are doing the fisheries activities, they collect waste in the nets. Now, what we did in the past, our fishermen, they just collected it on one side and threw it overboard to the other side and kept the fish. At a certain moment, we were thinking, can't the fishermen help cleaning the sea in an effective manner? Is that possible? We were not sure because we were one of the first who started it. Now, the idea behind it is that the fishermen have to land it in the port. There it will be stored, removed and disposed of by the port authorities and waste processors. That's it. Very importantly is the aspect that it is free of charge. Fishermen do it on a voluntary basis. They don't pay for it. They already do the work. So it has to be free. At the moment when they have to pay for this kind of efforts, they will drop out of the project immediately. So that's a no-go area. So free of charge then. Now it started in the year 2001 with only 10 fishing vessels in the port of Den Helder in the northern part of the Netherlands. And then more people became interested in the project, and it's already being run now in 8 countries. 60 ports participate, 500 vessels participate in this, or quite large vessels we have in the north. And I guess that at this moment in this year we will land about 5,000 tons of marine litter since 2011. That's what the calculation is about. So when you hear about 30 tons a day on co-pipidon, then it puts it in a different perspective anyway, but it is quite some waste. Now the interesting thing that it started up as a local initiative, but we have also a cooperation. Of course you have ASEM here, but we have, for instance, apart from the European Union, we have also the OSPAR Convention, which is a joint cooperation between about 14 countries, Spain, Portugal, France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, etc. More to the north, the northeast Atlantic, and the European Union is also part of this cooperation. They have adopted this Fishing for Litter scheme as a measure in their plan of measures, their regional action plan. So there it is already promoted to countries to participate in the scheme. It is voluntary, so they don't need to, but some countries do. And it is also sometimes not even run by chemo, but by other organizations. Now the European Union has also a lot of directives, and when you have a directive for the 27 participating countries in the European Union, this has to be transposed after adoption by the governments, it has to be transposed to the national level. So for instance, in my country, the Netherlands, about 17% of the legislation is based upon European legislation. Now one of those directives is the Port Reception Facility Directive. That is already quite an old directive, It aims specifically at ports and at vessels, which simply have to land their waste at a port, and the port has to provide facilities for simply taking it in for storage and also for further processing. Now, the interesting thing, there was for a couple of years there were a lot of discussions because the port reception facility directive had to be changed, had to be updated. And I participated because I'm representative for an organization with the EU during several meetings, and then we found out that there was a need for knowledge about fisheries-related waste. At a certain moment we asked to deliver a presentation on the topic, which I did. And what was quite nice is that now passively fished waste and fishing for litter waste is a waste stream included in the Port Reception Facility Directive. So the political discussions about this directive are still going on, but I hope that in October it will be accepted, adopted, and then it can be implemented. And not only fishing for litter will use be implemented in the North Sea, but also in the Black Sea, Mediterranean, which is, by the way, one of the most polluted seas at the moment. But that's the success story of this project. It started only with 10 vessels. Now, what are the organizational requirements if you would like to implement this kind of project? Now, a very important thing that you need to have a very positive attitude with the fisheries communities, because it is about engaging civil society at large. It's not legislation, it is what they do by themselves, supported by us, of course. Now, the fishermen that have to participate, otherwise there is no project at all. Support from the fisheries boards for storage of the waste, so they have a kind of a key role there also for the storage and providing big bags. Waste processors who want to transport and process the waste, and of course a product coordinator and a fundraiser, because it has to be paid for, and it is for free for the fishermen, but somebody has to pay for the waste. And of course sufficient funding. It always is about money. And so the actions you can see in this revolving about, the coordination and the fishermen, port reception, transport and waste processing. That's roughly just the scheme of the process. Now, that was fishing for litter. So it proved to be quite a success story, an interesting example as well, from the local level to the international level. But more options are there, and there has already been referred to beach cleaning operations, beach combing and other kind of things. And we started to expand it. And this is a specific Dutch example from my country, in which we participate. How can you address these kind of environmental problems more? Littering of beaches, and also port reception broader than only possibly fished waste. Now, normally what you do as a national government, also a provincial or a local government, is that you use policy instruments like communication, economic instruments, and legal instruments. That's just the known stuff. Another option is that you make a kind of a combination of these instruments, aiming specifically at the energy within society. So when you have enthusiastic NGOs or enthusiastic local communities who want to do something, and the Coquille example, for instance, again, you can utilize that as a kind of an engine to take this kind of initiatives further, and even to a national or international level. And we call that, in this case, it is an environmental network management approach. And what we do is that we try to engage stakeholders who are either responsible for the environmental pressure, but could help prevent or cure this, just making them part of the environmental policy cycle process. And we use, in my country, even an English word for that, my language is different, but we call that a Green Deal. Very important for such a Green Deal is because you work with local stakeholders, with regional stakeholders, with national stakeholders, and also a number of ministries is involved in this process. But they are not allowed to steer, they're just one of the stakeholders that make the process possible. The stakeholders altogether determine the process and the outcomes of it. And there is a shared ownership. The stakeholders are the owners of the initiative, but also responsible for this outcome. And a small group of front runners can create a transition in society. That's what it is about. You use them as a kind of an engine, what I already said. Now, there are about 180 Green Deals in the Netherlands at this very moment, aiming specifically at environmental issues. It can be about pesticides, agricultural use, land reformation, all kinds of that kind of things. And only 3 of those 180 Green Deals aim at the marine environment. There's the Green Deal Clean Beaches, which I may coordinate as well. You have the Green Deal Ship Generated Waste, aiming at shipping at large, so not only at fisheries, but at all kinds of shipping in relation to waste. And the Green Deal Fishing for a Clean Sea. I also guided as Executive Secretary. And this is very much linked to the infrastructure of port reception of the fishing for litter scheme. It's very convenient that we have that kind of backbone there already. Now, how does it work? It sounds quite theoretical, of course. Now, what kind of components do you have organizationally? Now, you need a kind of a secretariat to guide the process, because you have the whole bunch of stakeholders, you all together in one room, and then we need a kind of an outcome. Now, we need a lot of discussions, so a secretariat is essential. You have a steering committee, just with the representatives of the stakeholder groups themselves. So, for instance, the port authorities, the fishermen, fishing associations, also waste collectors. The group of stakeholders itself, also very important. And the national government is there as well, not to direct, not to guide, but just to make things possible. So, for instance, in case you would like to transport waste and you have to go to another country, that is, in the European Union, a difficult thing, of course. You can simply try to dump your waste in another country. It shouldn't be possible. But some negotiations may be possible, and that's what you need the national government for. Now, official commitment of the partners is very important. It is not a contract that is signed, it is a kind of an MOU. So it is not very strict, but you have to sign a thing, and also to determine the objectives, the targets for the period, for instance, 4 or 6 years to come. Now, the methodological framework and supervision include, so the accepted agreement. We all agree on that, for instance, that once upon, a small town I went to Thailand just a couple of days ago, we have a lot of fishermen there. So we have the objective for our port that we would like to collect 500 kilos of nets a year. It's a very small port. And after collecting this port, you just say something, after collecting those nets, then you can say that we also would like to have it environmentally friendly processed in a specific way. Now, that kind of objectives, municipalities that participate can also, for instance, have a kind of an objective as we would like to do a lot of public relations, education of the local population or the fishermen as well. That kind of things make it as concrete as possible, which is very vital. What's really vital for your monitoring and for gaining your objectives. Now, the interaction and progress should be monitored and observed. That's what you use also your secretariat for. Stakeholders need both to be informed and able to discuss their views in the meeting. So if there's this whole meeting, and we set a kind of target that we would like to reduce the amount of waste in a specific port with 50%. Are we making that or not? How is that caused? What is hampering that? And probably could the Secretariat help, could the Ministry help, could other stakeholders within the group help as well. So it's about joint cooperation. Now, the stakeholder group itself has to take the decisions, so they feel responsible for the process, and there should be room for launching project proposals, which means that there is also some money available for launching project proposals. New members are important. This is the Pelagic Fisheries Association that became a new member of the process just a year ago. And what are now actual results? Because it sounds nice, this is a theoretical story, but in practice it works. It's quite nice to see. Improved collection of fisheries-related waste in ports has to be achieved at this very moment. Aiming at waste nets, it was not standard that this happened, but it's now becoming more standard that we collect waste nets. Dolly rope, it's a kind of protective netting below the fish net. Normally thrown overboard this plastic, but now we hand it in and we collect it empty and recycle that. Galley waste, how can that be processed and segregated? Oil waste and waste specifically collected during fishing activities, the fishing for litter waste as I referred to before. Now, these are pilot projects. You see on the left top side already the small port. Only 10 fishing vessels, but they started there with a special segregation of galley waste and also of dolly rope on the right and the lower side as well. It started in Mountain Port. And what I did refer to is the Green Deal Clean Beaches. Here are beachcombers along the Dutch coast collecting litter. But it is not only about collection. Of course, the key thing of marine litter is just closing the loop. It is all about prevention. And we shouldn't clean, we should stop it. Clean afterwards. So what we also try to do, there's a lot of psychological research there. So where do you put, for instance, waste bins on the beach? Or don't you put you put waste bins on the beach? Do you put segregated waste bins, what we call waste islands, on specific parts of the beach? And how do you deal with it? How do you deal with signage? What kind of coloring? It all has an impact on the tourists, also with us. You have to think about that, and you can define a strategy. Now, well, all kinds of other outcomes you have to meet on a regular basis. One of the most important outcomes, apart from just prevention, also collection of waste, is the fact that also, for instance, stakeholders have been included in just a couple of years, about 10 years ago, we're almost at war. Fisheries associations and action groups and NGOs were quite often at war. Now, the most beautiful thing we saw just last meeting, stakeholder meeting of this fisheries group, was that the managing director of one of the fisheries associations asked one of the ladies of one of the action groups to become member of the steering committee. Now, that was not possible 10 years ago, but because we work jointly together, sit together 4 times a year and share all kinds of problems, trust starts building up, and that helps the process very much. That is very, very useful in this whole process. That was very roughly what it is about, and if you have any questions later on, probably then the floor is yours. Thank you very much for your attention.
So the last presentation will be on the keeping our world clean for future generation. Represented by Dr. Natapong Utai, who currently serves as a lecturer at the Faculty of Science and Technology, Prince of Songkla University, Pattani campus. He also initiates the on a zero-profit business which recycles and EVA polymer material gained from marine debris into sandals and shoes. Moreover, he leads the Trash Hero Pattani, a community-based movement to collect coastal litters and raise awareness on sustainable eco-friendly living. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Natapong Utai.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hate the podium, but I need this paper, otherwise I take you all through the ocean in 7 minutes, don't have time. Polymer, be plastic or rubber, is the most powerful invention of human society today. It's changed the way we live, the way we eat, even the way we reproduction. Condom made from rubber. Okay, they are so durable, so strong, and the most powerful thing is so cheap. It's very cheap cheap to produce, cheap to recycle, and our solution to that cheapness, we invent disposable. Because it's cheap, we don't know how to make money out of cheap things. So we invent disposable. So now we are living in a single-use culture, the throwaway society, and drowning in our own invention. So we don't know what really to do, and invite everyone from around the world to sit here and try to think what we can do, because right now we cannot live without plastic anymore. Face it, we cannot do that. It's very difficult. it changed already. So what we can do? All through the day we witness, everybody from government, non-government, from big corporation, from people just like us. For me, I am just a representative from the largest yet least powerful group of people called common man. A common man who just trying his best to be part of the solution. We are trying to do our own CSR, the citizen social responsibility. We are called trash hero, just like in my church. What we do is very simple thing, merely a weekly flash mob. We meet once a week and go clean up the beach, and that's all. Nothing else. No. Just we say it. No sign up, just show up. Our motto. So we don't do anything that complicated. We cannot drive anything like any other group that present already in the morning. And with all that trash, we just give it to local government to take care of it. And some part that very difficult to recycle, difficult to process, we take it back and try to make fun of it. Like our group, we take the flip-flop back and turn it into a flip-flop once again. Just to have fun with it. We cannot have money out of it. Everyone who come with us are all volunteer. So the business or Thalei John business is also a zero profit business. We get the resource for free and we get the money for no profit at all. The money is just for the upcycling process and the worker that work on the shoes. For 2 years that we started Thalei John, we only sell about maybe 4,000 pair of flip-flop. But that 4,000 kilogram of EVA waste that we collect by our hand, to get that 4,000 kilogram of waste to be recycled, we have to collect about 40,000 kilogram of ocean debris, because it's only 10% of the debris that are shoes or flip-flop. So, well, it's not much, but we can have this very powerful message to show other people walk by. Everywhere we put the flip-flop, people come in and ask, and we say, it's a flip-flop, pick up from the ocean. Then next question come in. What happened? Who throw that thing away? That's so many? How many did you get? And all that stuff. Even though we cannot sell it, but we finish or we deliver the message that we really want to say. So our job is like that. And for 2 years, our group in Pattani, our chapter in Pattani, we call the group is chapter in Pattani, we collect for 145 times already. We have around like 5,000 volunteers come with us, and we already clean up about 15,000 kilograms of waste from the beach around in Pattani. And we I can show you a little bit clip what we do in Pattani, and maybe I can show it.
เขาประมาณไว้ว่าปี 2050 ขยะในทะเลเนี่ยจะมีปริมาณมากกว่าปลาในทะเลที่โตขึ้นมาเนี่ยเวลาเพื่อนๆไปเที่ยวอะไรเงี้ยมันก็จะแบ่งเป็น2 กลุ่มประเภทคนภูเขากับคนทะเลนะผมเป็นพวกทะเลพอมาเที่ยวทะเลเนี่ยมันมีขยะเยอะผิดปกติเราก็มีความรู้สึกว่ามันรู้สึกสกปรกเนาะในขณะเดียวกันผมจบเรื่องโพลิเมอร์มาเรื่องยาเรื่องโพลิเมอร์เราเป็นคนที่ผลิตภัณฑ์เป็นนักที่คนคิดในพวกพลาสติกเหล่านี้ซึ่งสุดท้ายแล้วเนี่ยมันเป็นขยะที่เราเห็นอยู่มันก็กลายเป็นว่าเรามีความรู้สึกว่ามันเป็นความรับผิดชอบของเราหรือเปล่าที่แบบต้องทำอะไรบางอย่างเพื่อแก้ปัญหาเรานะวันแรกที่เราเก็บขยะเนี่ยคอมเมนต์เลยเราชวนคนเก็บขยะไม่ได้มีเมนต์เลยบอกว่าไม่มีวันสะอาดหรอกถ้าไม่เป็นเปลี่ยนพฤติกรรมแก้ไขปัญหาอุดมคติอะไรทั้งหลายที่มันเราจะต้องไปแบบให้คนอื่นเขาเปลี่ยนแต่ว่าใช้ฮีโร่มีความแตกต่างนิดนึงว่าเราไม่บ่นไม่ว่าใครไม่บ่นไม่บอกว่าทำไมรัฐบาลไม่ทำให้มีถังขยะอบตไม่มาเก็บคือใช้ฮีโร่ไม่สนใจเราก็แค่เก็บแล้วก็จบแล้วก็ชวนคนมาเก็บแล้วก็เราก็พยายามสอนคนว่าปัญหาขยะมันคืออะไรวันหนึ่งเขาประมาณว่าเรามีขยะที่ไหลหลุดลงในทะเลเนี่ยประมาณ8 ล้านตันต่อวันถ้าขยะพลาสติกเนี่ยหรือขวดเนี่ยเราก็จะให้อบตไปส่วนใหญ่เขาจะแยกขายขวดน้ำพลาสติกขวดแก้วก็แยกไปมีขยะส่วนหนึ่งที่เป็นขยะยางพวกทุ่นที่เป็น EVA รองเท้าพวกนี้เราจะเก็บกลับไปเพราะว่าเราจะไปทำเป็นรองเท้าขึ้นมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งคือเจตนาของการทำรองเท้าแตะเนี่ยจริงๆก็จะสื่อสารเพราะเราบอกว่ามันเป็นรองเท้าที่เก็บมาจากทะเลคำถามแรกเลยก็คือขยะมันเยอะขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอรองเท้ามันเยอะขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอเราก็บอกว่ามันเยอะจริงแล้วก็พูดไปก่อนปริมาณข้อที่ 2เขาก็จะถามว่าโอ้โหนักท่องเที่ยวทิ้งตลอดเลยเหรอเราก็เริ่มฝึกสอนละบอกว่าขยะที่มันไหลลงทะเลเนี่ยมันไม่ได้เป็นคนมาทิ้งนะมันเกิดจากขยะบนบกนี่แหละมันจะค่อยๆกระดึบลงทะเลตามเนเชอรัลของมันถ้าเราฟอร์มทีมได้ว่าเราจะเก็บขยะทุกสัปดาห์เราก็เริ่มต้นทำกิโลได้นั่นคือ definition ที่เรานิยามกันไว้การประกาศตรงนี้คือประกาศว่าเราจะเก็บที่ไหนเจอกันเมื่อไหร่กี่โมงวันอะไรของสัปดาห์กี่โมงเนี่ยแล้วก็ทุกคนก็สามารถมาได้โชว์อัพได้ก็คือคอนโต้ของเราก็คือ no sign up just show up ถ้าคุณมองว่าแท็กฮีโร่คือใครเนาะคุณได้เห็นว่าฮีโร่จริงๆคือใครเพราะว่าแท็กฮีโร่เนี่ยคืออย่างทุกคนที่มาวันนี้เราก็ถือว่าเป็นแท็กฮีโร่ละคนที่มาช่วยกันเก็บขยะชิ้น2 ชิ้นเราถือว่าโอเคคุณเป็นแท็กฮีโร่เพราะฉะนั้นถ้าถามว่าฮีโร่คือใครฮีโร่ก็คือทุกคนที่ณวันใดวันหนึ่งจุดใดจุดหนึ่งเลือกที่จะมาทำอะไรบางอย่างที่อาจจะไม่ปกตินักทุกคนก็เป็นฮีโร่ได้ชั่วขณะนี้อย่างน้อย
old now, but for over 4 years, we started Trash Hero from a very humble beginning in Galite 4 years ago. Now we have about 61 chapters all around the world in 11 countries, 6 continents. In a very famous city like Bangkok, Prague, New York City, we have Trash Hero. So every time you go to this city, check out which day they collect the trash and join them. We have cleaned 3,624 cleanup to date, involving around 100,000 volunteers. 24,000 of them are kids. About almost 25% are kids, which our hope for the future. And we remove around 600,000 kilograms of trash all around the world so far. We deliver around like 3 TEDx presentation and organize 1 zero waste TEDx event. And not only we clean, we educate a lot of kids and people and everyone who allow us or give us an opportunity to educate. We ask people to change the habit by different kind of project, like these bottles. We have these bottles. We encourage people to carry the bottles, so we eliminate the plastic bottles. So far we sell about 50,000 bottles, so we can eliminate around like 22 million bottles, plastic bottles. We also encourage people to carry the bag, and we sell maybe 8,000 bags. We maybe eliminate another 8 million plastic bags so far. And a lot of things that we try to think and do from all of us who are purely volunteer. We get no money out of it. We actually don't get, we actually don't want cash donation. We deny the cash donation. We ask only join us. Do whatever you can. 61 chapter, like one whole day today. In average, we have around 9 cleanup all around the world by us. So for virtually no money and volunteer based like us, we can move something. And for people here in this room, I believe, have more power than me. So I have high hope that we will close our door for Lake John because no more trash. We stop. Sorry. That's come my life. And we can stop cleaning the beach just because everywhere is clean and come together. Third. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Natapong Nitivutai. And next, I would like to invite Mrs. C. Latmiyom, Deputy Director General of the European Affairs Department, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to present tokens of appreciation to our speakers. And may I invite all speakers on the stage, please. This afternoon, I am certain that all of us here now have a clear understanding of the severity of the marine debris issue and its destructive consequences on marine life, the ecosystem, and as well as our own lives. The key message which we can draw from our sessions today is that everybody's real determination and earnest action to tackle the marine debris issue, as well as to change our lifestyle toward plastic-free living, are fundamentally important. And so in this regard, I would like to encourage you to share your thoughts with us, especially on the draft proposal on marine debris reduction in Asia and Europe. Please send us your comments to us by email before 15 August 2018. To give us enough time to incorporate all the inputs into the draft, which will be presented to the ASEM Summit meeting this October. And looking beyond the cooperation on the marine environment, the ASEM process can be an active inter-regional mechanism to assist all partners in addressing the challenges for achieving the United Nations 2030 agenda by promoting more exchanges of best practices and collaborations between both regions in all aspects of sustainable development. For Thailand, we have adopted His Majesty the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej's Sufficiency Economy Philosophy, or SEP approach, for realizing sustainable development goals, which cover all 17 goals and focuses on transforming unbalanced growth economy into one that is moderate and resilient, as well as integrating all aspects of development, including green economy, group growth, and environmental sustainability. Our development model is therefore people-centered and community-based, which we have just seen from the presentation of the PP Islands model and Trash Hero from Pattani province, which is as one of the examples. So we are ready to share our experiences among our ASEM colleagues and for SEP, for SDGs partnerships with our partners in order to engage all stakeholders and leave no one behind in this endeavor. Last but not least, you may know that there is a parallel activity today's meeting at Central Plaza at just the opposite side of this hotel. Which is the INSEE exhibition on innovations and technologies to tackle the marine debris problem. I invite you all to visit the exhibition after this, as I myself have visited this morning and I found it captivating. So finally, and on behalf of Thailand, I wish to express my sincere appreciation once again to all distinguished guests, speakers, moderators, and all participants for your great contributions, which make today's meeting more thought-provoking and rewarding for all. And my special thanks also go to our co-organizer, the Kasesa University, especially Dr. Thorn Thamlong, who helped make this meeting meaningful and useful for all. So I thank you and I wish you all a safe journey onwards. Thank you very much, Deputy Director General. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, we hope today's meeting will provide food of thought for all of us. And as Deputy Director General mentioned that please don't forget to visit our exhibition at the Central Plaza to experience real circumstances of ocean planet nowadays with the VR technology. And once again, thank you so much for your kind participation And I wish you all a safe journey home. Thank you very much. And sorry, let me remind you about this paper, and the team said that if anyone already filled, please kindly drop at the registration table. Thank you very much.